The figure shows this graph of h, and we want to know which one of these could be an expression for h of x. Okay, well, let's get started here. What can we do? Let's see here. I'm first going to look at what will be our midline. Now, I believe this has been shifted up 1 because they all have a shift up of 1. And let's see if that looks about right. That does appear good. That appears right. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what would be the length of one cycle, also known as a period or period length. So if I go from here all the way to here, this distance, horizontal distance, is pi. So I know that the period should be pi. So if I take 2b, or 2 pi, and I divide it by b, b is the number that's going to be in front of the x. So we have a pi, a 2, a 2, and a 2. I need to get an answer of pi. So let's go ahead and see here. I get 2 pi times 1 is 2 pi, b times pi, divide by pi, divide by pi. Okay, b equals 2. So I want a 2 in front. There's not a 2 in front. I get to cancel this out. We have a 2, we have a 2, and we have a 2. Okay, good. All right, here's my next thing. Okay, we're going to visualize now these horizontal shifts along with using amplitude in order to both cancel out and identify the correct answer. Okay, let's start here. What would this mean? Remember how this lies to us. So this says, hey, take your starting point. We're going to shift it pi over 2 to the right. So this point would have been here, and we shift it over here. So we shift it to the right pi over 2. So this point was here. So it initially would be here if this is the correct answer. But then it also says that we have to have amplitude of positive 2. That's not true, because if this is where it landed on the y-axis, do you notice how it's down 2? It's not above 2. It's down 2. And so that's why I can cancel this out. Let's look at this one. Here this says you would shift it to the right pi. So let's go to the right pi. Here's where this point is. So if I brought this all the way back, it would be right here. This point would be right here. And notice how this is 2 above, but look at this, says this should be 2 below. So the amplitude is 2 because amplitude is only positive, but the negative sign means that we reflected across this midline. So it would be down here instead of up top. Cancel that out. Here, let's go to our only last option, but let's make sure we're understanding this. So we're going to go to the right a distance of 3 pi over 2. Let me switch up the color of the pen so it shows up. So here's my 3 pi over 2. If I bring this all the way back over, this says we move it to the right 3 pi over 2. So before we shift it, it would be right here. And then notice that this is 2 below, and that makes sense. The 2 represents the amplitude. Amplitude is only positive, so this is a distance of 2, but it's also reflected across this axis of symmetry. That's why we have the negative sign. This is our correct answer.